So after the drama of last week, I'm going to stick to telling happy stories, right? Puppies and rainbows, because you're so sensitive out there. If I said it, I mean it, but hey, let's tell some happy stories. So I'm going to talk about the time, the first day I stepped out as a reader, and how there was a spirit that at the expo of who didn't want to work with me. So basically, let me explain it really quickly. The expo started at about 12 o'clock. It was the CPC, Canberra Psychic Expo, back in 2016. So it was a big one, 200 stallholders, Australia's best readers. Here I am stepping out thinking, I don't know how it was going to work out. Next to me is Amanda Ralsetti. Amanda Ralsetti was on the one, along with Raylene Cable, Charmaine Wilson, I guess a few, Mitchell Coombs. There was heaps of them on that season. Anyway, so Amanda Ralsetti's next to me. I didn't even really know who she was at the time, but I've set up my stall, just doing my thing, and the day's moving along, and everyone's sort of getting readings, and I'm sort of just standing there thinking, oh Christ, what have I done? Two women walk up to me, and they're really, dubious on mediums, and they go, hey, well, listen, I kind of want a mediumship reading, but before I book with you, like, they'll test me, and I thought, oh well, you know what, let's give it a go, right? And I said, okay, I'll have a look and see before you book with me, and as I start, instantly, like straight away, I knew that there's a female, it's like a sister. And I know that's something to do with a car. Like, I don't know if it's a car crash or like I said something with the car. And I know it's like your sister. There's two of them, but I said it's your sister. And like, anyway, I said this, and I could feel the energy. And I'm working, and I get this bits of information, and I tell the person who's asked these questions, and her and a friend look at each other like, what the fuck, how? But ironically, they were about to come and sit and like sort of go, hey, yeah, we'll book in with you. But that energy, as I'm working with it, was like, no, you're not the right one. Tell them to keep walking around and find another reader. And I was like, oh, okay. And I said, hey, listen, I'm not the right reader for you. You need to keep, she's quite bossy. And they laughed and said she's like that in spirit. And this spirit was like, no, like, you're not the right reader. Even though we were in communication, she was adamant that her sister continue in the expo and find another reader. So I said that, and off they went. But that was meant to be my first customer, right? My first paid reading ever. And I wasn't even upset about it. And I was like, oh, well, that's just the way it is. I thought it was bizarre. And then later in the day, my next door neighbor is a reader who was on the telly, come and sat down and had a paid reading with me. So that weekend, not only did a spirit not want to work with me or me do the reading, I also read for the readers. She wasn't the only reader who was on that season of the one. So it was kind of a big moment, and I guess as daunted as it was, I felt like I'd arrived. And the best way in life is to be thrown in the deep end, and that's like the story of my life. But anyway, that's my story for today.